Welcome to Dove and Dragon Radio. I'm your host, M.L.Ruscsak. I'm here with Warren, our sponsor for today's show from Red Carpet Rocks, and Kenneth J. Lane, sponsoring our interview with Ernest Roberson, Sr. Welcome.
Welcome, Miss Melissa.
Now, you have Hatcher coming out in just a few weeks. But before that, you had Damnation. So pretend I don't know nothing about the books.
Okay.
Where did the inspiration for Hatcher come from?
Well, Hatcher came from, first of all, I've always liked the 80s horror. So I was just doodling around with writing, and it came up I said, well, goodness, I got something going on here. And then I just got the character and went on with it. But it was basically about a boy, he had mental problems, but it was mainly like a bullying situation at the beginning, how the boys and campers had treated him out there. And he got killed out in the swamp, so he became a killer, basically, of the swamps.
So went a little bit with the Friday the 13th, where the killer is already dead, sort of.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I know my 80s horror movies.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I love them myself. So,
I mean, I can't do anything past 96, but after that, I'm good with the 80s horror movies, because that's when horror movies was still horror movies.
Correct. And that's what I wanted to try to do, try to get it back, to try to bring it back. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going to do it myself, but, because I know the 80s, that's when the best, to me, my opinion, the best horror was around.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just trying to bring back and put the fear back into the readers, and.
Right. There's nothing like sitting down with a book or a movie and with a bowl of popcorn on a very, very stormy night and getting yourself scared silly because you're reading something or watching something on TV.
Exactly, correct.
I mean, a lot of us, we don't see that no more with these horror movies that are coming out. They're, oh, okay, this one's going to get killed next. Oh, this one. It's so normally paced that when you get back to the 80s, you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And that's like with my character, he don't kill like you would think he would. I mean, he goes and really does some torture to these residents of the swamp that comes down there on college break, spring break, whatever, and vacation or whatever. But the land, they think it ain't cursed, about like a Jason or so, but they don't think it's cursed, but it is. They think it's just a myth that ain't real.
Right. I mean, okay, how many people out there will say, oh, it's not a curse, it's a myth?
Correct.
I mean, you can say it's a curse all you want, but unless you have that mentality that it's a curse, you're going to say it's a myth. And a myth can be debunked, where a curse, those faithful to the curses will say it can't be debunked.
Exactly.
I mean, especially if you get down to Louisiana.
Right, down there.
So
exactly.
I know that area, Mississippi, you say someone's cursed, you're going to see someone walk to the other side of the street because they don't want to get anywhere near someone that's cursed.
That's right.
So we have that one coming out, but you already have Damnation out. So what is that one about?
Damnation's about a young boy, a 15-year-old boy, whose mother is actually taking him from place to place and trying to protect him and hide him out. And he, in his mind, and he's trying to figure out why he's getting hid out and his mom was hiding him. So then on the beach one day, a portal opens and he voluntarily goes over because he's trying to search for the answers himself. And in doing so, is trying to find the answers, he's got to make sure that the people around him ain't getting killed themselves because he's supposed to be protecting them as he's finding out the answers, which his mother never told him. So, but
You have a little bit of everything in your books. I mean, you have secrets, lies, and murder.
Exactly, correct.
What else can you put in the book? Secrets, lies, and murder. You have a secret, therefore it's going to lead to a murder.
Exactly. So,
that's just the basic lineage of a story.
yes, ma'am.
So now that we have these 2 books out, what are you working on right now?
I'm working on a new book, and it's called Sir Anthony's Bedivere, Master of Darkness. And it's gonna be a book with 2 books actually in it. And it's more of a vampire type story, and they get
Okay.
So
Completely different from the other 2.
right, correct.
So you're another one of my multi-genre authors, basically.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I like say pretty well playing with the genre. So yes, ma'am.
It's
I'm
general
not stuck.
fiction.
I'm not stuck on one. So
If we find an author that's stuck on one genre, there's something wrong.
oh yes.
I mean, that just means they're writing the same story over and over and over. And
Exactly.
for me
I mean,
personally,
yeah.
as an author, I get bored doing that. So we have to change it up every once in a while.
Yes, ma'am, I do too. I mean, I don't like writing the same plot and all this or near the same plot. You know, I got to mix something up in there because it feels like I'm just rewriting the whole book that I done wrote.
Right. I mean, that's anyone. We as authors put so much time in writing that we memorize almost every word that we write. So when we write a series, it's like we're writing the single book for 4 years.
Exactly. And
that's the mentality of an author. It's not a new book. It's a continuation of the last book. It gets tiring. I mean, as a reader, I want series to go on forever. I mean, there's certain series that have like 22 books in it or something. It's insane. But as a writer, as an author, it gets tedious and boring.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you.
So it's not that we hang something up, it's we need our mind to go to something different.
Exactly. You know, expand your mind because thoughts, you know, they're not just a little ball. Your thoughts really go out there if you really take the time to just exaggerate and think about it.
I mean, okay, so we take this lipstick, for example. Now, this lipstick is lipstick, but in a fantasy world, that lipstick can be a talking whatever.
Exactly.
We take the most inanimate object and we figure out how to incorporate it into something different. That lipstick can be a murder weapon.
That's right. Exactly.
Or it could be a dancing tube of whatever. You know, it just depends on the mind of the person writing it. Then you have to create the world around it to make it make sense.
Exactly.
I just have that laying there. So, I mean, that was an easy reach for me. Obviously, I'm not the person that's going to make a tube of lipstick kill someone, but,
No. But, you know, I mean, you could like say if you're in an abandoned world or something place, and you think somebody might be following behind, it's a lie. You could leave a note with the lipstick or something.
There's something. I mean, there's so many creative things you can do. I mean, how many books have we read where the killer leaves a lipstick on a Dear John letter, and then the person dies later? I mean, the lipsticks then a clue instead of just a suspicious murder that has no suspect to it.
Right.
Yeah, I read all sorts of books, crime novels to fantasy. So
Yes, ma'am.
So where can our readers and our listeners find you?
As in, find me at, well, I know I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, and
Instagram?
Instagram. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we're having a lot of issues with social media today. I should say. So we're fixing that. Anyone that follows me knows I have like 90,000 followers. And
Yes,
today
ma'am.
you're going to see I have like 500. So we're fixing that today. I'm being, it's just social media trolls are horrible. So we're fixing it. But don't worry, you can still find me.
Yes, ma'am. I got you. I know that.
It's a bad day, but it's a wonderful day because I get to talk to authors about books.
Yes, ma'am.
So while we have time, what are some of your favorite authors?
Well, I gotta admit, my idol is Stephen King without a doubt. And then I like Dean Koontz and a few of them,
Mm-hmm.
but mainly them two, that's the two that I mainly read, growing up. Especially, I mean, like I say, Stephen King, he's my idol.
Right. I mean, we have our favorites. Stephen King. We have Terry Goodkind. There's some names out there. I mean, we
Right.
bring inspiration. As Stephen King from the 80s. I'm not sure what he's wrote recently because I haven't had time to read anything recent. But you get into Pet Sematary, you get into Strand, you get into Misery.
Right.
Those kind of books, and you pull inspiration out of. And for someone that pulls inspiration out of the 80s horror movies, I mean, seriously.
Exactly. I mean, and also I like the late, great Jack Ketchum. I mean, I got to throw him in there too. I mean, he was a good author, So, great author, not just good.
Yeah, there are so many late authors, so many great authors that if me and you sat down with a list to name all of them, would run out of time before we could get through all of them.
Exactly.
So when I say we just throw out a few names, that's all we can really do because there's so many authors out there. And some of them we heard of, but maybe our listeners have not. I mean, I don't know how someone would miss like Stephen King or Terry Goodkind, but still, I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Exactly right. Exactly.
But I think we're almost out of time for today. I thank you so much for being on the show. And as soon as we get the next book out, I'd love to have you back on.
It'll be great to be back, Miss Melissa.
Now, I don't have it in front of me. Do you have the release date for Hatcher?
I do believe it's April the 12th. April the 12th, 2021.
I knew it was in April. I don't have it memorized on dates, but I knew the author would definitely know when it's coming out.
Oh yes, ma'am, because it's a day after my birthday, so.
Oh, we timed that perfectly then, by accident.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. My birthday's on the 11th, and it's coming out the 12th. So
that is
happy birthday to me already.
That is a wonderful birthday present then.
Yes, ma'am.
I must have had an ESP when I was setting it up.
I hear you.
But thank you so much for being on the show. And again, you can find Ernest on all social media platforms. And for readers and listeners, happy reading.